Tell me about yourself is a very common interview question. In fact, it's a cast iron guarantee regardless of what sector you're applying for. What you need to concentrate on here is your work experience, stating what you've done and how it is relevant to the job that you're applying for. It's a broad question, but what the panel want to hear is what you've done, what skills you have that make you a good fit for this role. It's not about how many cats and dogs you have, or how often you go windsurfing, or how you like football. It's about the job, and it's about the skills and experience that you have that are relevant for that job. When answering this question, use the following acronym: EES, and that stands for Education, Employment, and Skills. Now, the reason we're using an acronym and the reason we're using kind of a structured approach in this is just to manage your thought process. When you go into the interview, there are a whole host of things running through your mind. You can be very nervous, you can lose track of thought. But as I say, tell me about yourself is usually the first question you'll be asked. And it's always good, and it's good for your confidence if you can convey and get the message across first up. So, EES, Education, Employment and Skills. To start off with, I'm going to give you a poor answer to the question, tell me about yourself. This is something that I've heard quite recently at interview. I live at home with my girlfriend. I've just finished university. I did really well and now I'm looking for a job. Previously, I'd done work experience in a museum for a year, helping out with some admin. I've also completed a couple of professional qualifications and I enjoy playing football and tennis in my spare time. The reason it's poor is because it's general. It does not say where the person studied or even what they studied. It does not state how the work experience gained in the museum could be related to the skills needed to be a particular role, for example, a salesperson or a retail. And that's really important, is how are your skills relevant to that particular job description and person specification. But all in all, it's a very general and it's a common answer that we hear at all levels, whether it be junior or senior. And it says a lot about the person's lack of experience and motivation when they come up with an answer like this. It's off the top of their head. If you don't know much about you, or you haven't done much, how is the interviewer supposed to know about you and your achievements and what you can do for them? It's very, very difficult. So the key thing here is relevance. Remember, relevance is key. Read the job description, read the person's specification, find out what that employer wants. So if that's a poor answer because it's general, what does a good answer sound like? A good answer to the question would sound something like this. During university, I studied business and IT, where I achieved a 2-1. In my final year, I studied marketing, international business, and strategy, where I received awards for achieving some of the highest grades in the university. While in university, I paid for my studies working part-time for a large mobile phone company. There I developed important skills such as working with customers in a fast-paced environment. My biggest strength is the ability to communicate. By this I mean listening effectively to the needs of customers to ensure they have the right product that will solve their problems. My second strength is my ability to sell and hit targets. I enjoy working under pressure and learning about new products and working towards measurable goals. During this experience, I have always achieved my targets and never lost a customer during the 3 years I worked there. This is something I am very proud of, which demonstrates my commitment to service, and this is why I feel with this experience, combined with my educational achievements, make me a very good fit for the position, and I'd be really excited to be a member of your team. So to evaluate this answer, and the reason why it was good, is because it uses EES. If you notice, the first part of the question talked about the education, which was university, 2-1, excellent awards in both marketing, business and strategy, achieving some of the highest grades in the university. So that person's talking about how they're a high achiever. The second part is the employment, which was working in a mobile phone company. And the third part was how working in that mobile phone company, having the skills were relevant to that particular employer. So for example, the first strength was the ability to communicate, listen effectively to the needs of customers, and then ensure they have the right product that solves their problems. The second point that they went on to talk about then, or the answer went on to talk about, was the ability to sell and hit targets, to work under pressure, and to learn new products and services, and working towards measurable goals. One key point as well, which again is about an achievement, is that the answer talks about not losing a customer in 3 years. something very, very impressive. Again, it's putting these kind of skills in that you can offer. It's a benefit to the employer that you're talking to. And they talk about their commitment to service. So again, all these skills wrapped up are what people miss out on usually on this question, which is why on the first example it was very poor because it was general. This is a good answer because it's specific and it uses EES, so education, employment, and skills. So in summary, if you're leaving university or if you're leaving school, you're looking to apply for an apprenticeship or you're looking to apply for your first kind of job, graduate scheme, whatever it may be, you will get asked the question, tell me about yourself. It's usually used as an icebreaker to understand, let's say, a little bit more about you, but you need to use it effectively and you need to get the message across and communicate why you're the best person for the job. And it can really give you the confidence boost that you need and really calm you down if you can answer clearly and precisely. Don't waffle, don't talk about cats, dogs, what you do in your spare time. Concentrate on what you can do for the employer. And this is where you use EES. So what have you done in your educational life? What employment or work experience have you had? If you haven't had full-time employment, what experience have you done and what skills is the final point, is what skills have you learned that are relevant and applicable to the person who's sitting the opposite side of the table to you? What can you do for them? If you can do this, and if you can organize your thoughts, you will be in a far better position. So hopefully this short tutorial has given you a little bit more confidence and given you a little bit more structure on how to answer the question. All the very best in your future career, and please leave some feedback and let's see how you've done it in your interviews, and as I say, hopefully you'll get that job that you want.